Assalamualaikum students, welcome back to another video. Today we will be solving Cambridge IGCSE Physics Paper 2 Variant 22 of February-March 2021. Question 1. A student has a measuring cylinder containing water and also has a balance. Which of these could she use to find the volume of a small metal sphere? She has no other apparatus. Okay, so if she has a measuring cylinder containing water, so what she can do is she can put the small metal sphere inside the measuring cylinder, and then there will be an increase in the volume. So the increase in the reading would give you the volume of the metal sphere. So she only needs the measuring cylinder alone. So B is your answer. A ball hits a bat with a velocity of 30 meters per second and leaves the bat traveling with a velocity of 20 meters per second in the opposite direction. The ball is in contact with the bat for 0.1 seconds. What is the magnitude of the acceleration of the ball whilst it is in contact with the bat? Okay, so acceleration we know is given by change in speed over time. So the initial speed we have is 30 meters per second minus by the final speed, which is 20 meters per second. But here you'll have to be careful. They have told us that it is in the opposite direction. So whenever it is in the opposite direction, we will take the negative. So we will take minus 20 over the time taken, which is 0.1 seconds. So when you solve this, your answer will come out to be 500 meters per second square. A train begins a journey from a station and travels 60 kilometers in a time of 20 minutes. What is the average speed of the train? So speed formula is speed is equals to distance over time, and distance we know is in meters and time should be in seconds. So we will have to convert these two values first. 60 kilometers will become 60,000 meters and time would become 1200 seconds. So when you solve this, your answer will come out to be 50 meters per second. Question 4. Which statement about mass is correct? A mass of 10 kg weighs 1 Newton near the Earth's surface. This is obviously incorrect. A mass of 10 kg would be 100 Newtons. Mass is a gravitational force. This is also incorrect. Mass is not the gravitational force. Instead, weight is the gravitational force. Mass increases when the gravitational field strength increases. This is also incorrect. We know that mass stays constant irrespective of the gravitational field strength. Only weight is affected by the gravitational field. And option D says the greater the mass of a body, the more it resists a change in its motion. So this is correct. Question 5. A small bottle has a mass of 20 grams when empty. The volume of the bottle is 10 centimeter cube. When full of liquid, the total mass is 150 grams. What is the density of the liquid? Okay, so the formula for density is mass upon volume. So if the total mass is 150 grams and the mass of the bottle is 20 grams, so the mass of the liquid would be 130. Volume we know is 10. So just solve this and your answer will come out to be 13 grams per centimeter cube. Question 6. An object of mass 0.8 kilograms is moving in a straight line at a velocity of 2 meters per second. A force is exerted on the object in the direction of motion for a period of 1 minute, and the velocity of the object increases to 6 meters per second. What force is exerted on the object? So here we will use this formula. Force is equal to change in momentum over the time taken. So we have to calculate the force. Change in momentum would be 0.8 times the change in speed, which goes from 2 meters per second to 6. So this gives us 4, and time is 1 minute. So we have to convert the minutes into seconds. So this would be 60. So just plug this in your calculator and your answer will come out to be A. Question 7. An object moves at constant speed in the circular path shown. which statement about the acceleration of the object when it is at point P is correct? So we know that whenever an object is in a circular motion, the acceleration is always in the direction of the center. The resultant force of the acceleration is always in the direction of the center, so in the direction of arrow Z. An object is pivoted at point P. A student ties a length of string to a peg on the object. He pulls the string with a force F. What is the moment of the force F about the point P? So we know that in order to calculate the moment of the force, we always take the perpendicular distance D. The perpendicular distance in this case is this one, so it would be S. So F times S. A gas molecule strikes the wall of a container. The molecule rebounds with the same speed. What happens to the kinetic energy and what happens to the momentum of the molecule? So since it rebounds with the same speed, so obviously there will be no change in the kinetic energy because the speed is the same, and obviously the mass will also remain same. However, the momentum will change because the gas molecules rebounds in the opposite direction. So there will obviously be a change in momentum. So C is your answer. Question 10. A horizontal force pulls a box along a horizontal surface. The box gains 30 joules of kinetic energy and 10 joules of thermal energy is produced by the friction between the box and the surface. How much work is done by the force? So the total work done would be the total amount of energy that is being produced in the system. So 30 joules of kinetic energy and 10 joules of thermal energy. So the work done would be the total energy, so this would be 40 joules. A crane is used to lift loads vertically. The output power of the crane to lift a car is P. The crane then lifts a lorry which is 3 times the weight of the car through 0.25 of the distance in 0.5 of the time. What is the output power of the crane now? Okay, so we'll use the formula for power, which is energy over time. So energy is basically the work done. So they're telling us that the lorry has 3 times the weight of the car. So we'll take 3, and since energy is F times D, so it's through 0.25 of the distance, so 0.25 upon time, and time taken is 0.5. So when you solve this or simplify this rather, you would get 3.2. So you would require 3.2 times the power which was required to lift the car. So B is your answer. The diagram shows a manometer connected to a gas supply. What is the pressure of the gas supply? So here we can clearly see that it is 200 millimeters above the atmospheric pressure. So C is your answer. The diagram shows a box of dimensions 6 cm by 8 cm by 4 cm. The box rests on a flat horizontal surface. On which face must the box rest in order to exert the least pressure? So we have the formula for pressure as force upon area. So when will the pressure be least? When the area is the highest. So on which face would the box rest? So its pressure, so its area will be the highest. So it will be face X, this face. Because when it lies on this face, the area that it is covering would be 6 cm by 8 cm. So this would be the highest area of all the surfaces. So that is why A is your answer. Air in a sealed syringe is slowly compressed by moving the piston. The temperature of the air stays the same. Which statement about the air is correct? The pressure of the air decreases because its molecules now travel more slowly. This is incorrect. When we will compress the syringe, the molecules will collide with the walls of the syringe more frequently, and the pressure will increase. The pressure of the air decreases because the area of the syringe is now smaller. This is incorrect. The pressure of the air increases because its molecules now hit the syringe walls more frequently. So this is correct. Question 15. In an experiment, smoke particles are suspended in air and viewed through a microscope. The smoke particles move about with short random movements. Which of the following statements is correct? Air particles have large masses compared to smoke particles, and they move in one direction only. So these two options are incorrect because we know that air particles have smaller mass as compared to smoke particles. So let's look at option C. Air particles move at high speeds compared to smoke particles, and they move in one direction only. This is incorrect. We know that the movement is random, and so they will move in random direction. So D is correct. Question 16. The graph shows how the internal energy of 1 kilogram of a metal changes with temperature. What is the increase in the internal energy of the block of the same metal of mass 0.25 kilograms when its temperature rises from 40 Celsius to 50 Celsius? So the graph is for a 1 kilogram mass. So let's look at the temperature change, 40 to 50. So 40 to 50, it means at 40 the energy is, you can see it is this is 812, and at 50 degrees Celsius we have 815. So 3 kilojoules is required to increase the temperature of 1 kg of mass from 40 to 50. So 3000 joules required for a 1 kilogram mass. So how much energy would be required for a 0.25 kilogram mass? Just solve this equation and your answer will come out to be 750. Question 17. A piece of melting ice at 0 degrees Celsius and a beaker of boiling water are both in a laboratory. The laboratory is at 20 degrees Celsius. What is happening to the temperature of the melting ice, and what is happening to the temperature of the boiling water? So here it is essential to recall that during phase change means changing from a solid to liquid or liquid to gas, the temperature of the substance itself does not change. During phase change, only the energy is being gained in order to break the bonds or form the bonds. So during that particular moment when it is melting or boiling, the temperature of the substance is not changing and it is constant. So A is your answer. One end of a copper rod is heated. What is one method by which thermal energy is transferred in the copper rod? So copper is a metallic material, so we know it will have free electrons. Free electrons transfer energy from cooler end to the hotter end. This is incorrect. It will be the opposite, from hot to cool. So B is your correct answer. Which change will cause a decrease in the rate of radiation emitted by an object? Changing the surface color from white to black. This is incorrect. This will increase the rate of radiation because black is a good radiator. Changing the surface texture from dull to shiny. This is correct because we know that shiny surfaces are bad radiators, so it will decrease the rate of radiation. What is the approximate wavelength in air of the highest frequency sound that can be heard by a normal healthy person? So you should remember that the highest frequency sound is of 20,000 Hertz that a human can hear, and they have asked us to give it the approximate wavelength. So you should also remember that the speed of sound in air is approximately 330. So we can use this formula, V is equals to F lambda. We have to calculate lambda. Speed we know is 330. Frequency, highest frequency is 20,000. So when you solve this, your answer will come out to be approximately 0.017, and this is approximately 0.02 meters. 21. What causes the change in direction when light travels from air into glass? So it is traveling from a less dense medium to a denser medium. So the change in direction is caused by a change in speed of the light. 22. Light from a torch is incident on a plane mirror. The angle of incidence is 38 degrees. What is the angle of reflection? Okay, so we know that the angle of reflection is the same as the angle of incidence, so it will be 38. Two rays with an angle of incidence of 60 degrees pass into dilute and concentrated sugar water solutions. The refractions are shown. Which row is correct? So we'll have to calculate the refractive index for both. The formula for refractive index is sin I over sin R. So in this case it is sin 60 over sin 40, and here it is sin 60 over sin 35. So just use your calculator. So for the first part, the refractive index comes out to be 1.34, and for the second part it comes out to be 1.5. So we can see that the refractive index, as the concentration increases, also increases, and the speed will decrease. So C is your answer. A thin converging lens is used to produce a sharp image of a candle. Various sharp images are produced on the screen by moving the lens and the screen backwards and forwards. Which statement is always correct? So we can see that this is the candle and this is the image, and the image is clearly inverted. So D is your answer. Which row gives the approximate speeds at which ultraviolet waves travel in air and in a vacuum? So we know that ultraviolet waves is part of the electromagnetic spectrum, and the speed of the electromagnetic waves is approximately the same in air and in vacuum, which is D, this value. 26. What are the names of the parts of the sound wave labeled X and Y? So we can see that X is the compression, Y is a rarefaction, so B is your answer. The speed of sound is different in different states of matter. The speed of sound in liquid is 1500 meters per second. Which row correctly compares the speed of sound in ice and the speed of sound in water vapor with the speed of sound in water? So ice is a solid, liquid water is obviously liquid, and steam is a gas. So we know that the speed of sound would be faster in a solid because the particles are closer together, so it is easier to transfer the energy. So the speed of sound in ice would be more than 1500, and in steam it would be less than 1500. So C is your answer. 3 methods to demagnetize a magnet are suggested. The magnet is in an east-west direction. Hitting the magnet repeatedly with a hammer, so this would demagnetize it. Heating the magnet until red hot, so this would also demagnetize it. Withdrawing the magnet from a coil which has a direct current, so we know that a DC current will not affect it, only AC currents will allow it to demagnetize, so this is incorrect. So only 1 and 2, so B is the answer. 3 cores of different metals P, Q and R are placed inside identical coils of wire. At least one of the metals is non-magnetic. The cores are held above some iron nails. The 3 diagrams show what happens when there is a current in the coils. And the 3 diagrams here, they show what happens when the current is then switched off. So we can see that for magnet R, the nails are attracted to the magnet regardless of whether there is a current or not. So this indicates that R is magnetic. In Q also we can see that the magnets are attracted when the current is present, so this would also indicate that it is a magnetic material. However, in P we can see that the nails do not get attracted to the metal despite, regardless of whether the current is on or off. So this tells us that this is a non-magnetic material. So the only magnetic materials are Q and R. So you have D. Two uncharged metal spheres X and Y rest on insulating stands and touch each other. A negatively charged plastic rod is brought near to sphere X. Using the insulating stand, sphere Y is moved away from sphere X. What are the signs and relative magnitudes of the charges induced on X and Y? Okay, so initially when the negatively charged rod is brought closer to X, so it would have positive charges because negative and positive will attract, and due to the positive charges on X, this will induce negative charges on Y. So when you go through the options, you can see that C is correct. Charge on X will be positive, charge on Y will be negative, and the relative magnitude of charges will be equal. 31. Which two changes to a metal wire both decrease its resistance? So you must be able to recall the formula for resistance, which is resistivity times length over area. So which two changes will decrease resistance? We can see that length is directly proportional to resistance. So if we decrease the length, it will decrease the resistance, and if we increase the area, it will decrease the resistance. So length of wire decreases and cross-sectional area of wire increases. So this will give you B as your correct answer. There is a current I in a resistor of resistance R for a time t. The potential difference across the resistor is V. Which equation gives the energy E transferred by the resistor? So once again, you should be able to recall the formulas. Energy formula for energy is power into time, and power we know is voltage times the current. So E would be VI times T. So D is your correct answer. 33. A resistor R is connected in parallel with an 8 ohm resistor. The resistance of this combination is 4 ohms. What is the resistance of resistor R? So the total resistance of this combination is 4 ohms. So what must be the resistance of R? So we can see that it is connected in parallel. So this would be the formula. So let's first take R as 8. So 1 upon 8 plus 1 upon 8. So RT you get as RT would be 4, which is what we need. So this means that R is also of 8, is also an 8 ohm resistor. So D is your correct answer. 34. A student designs a circuit to use a dimmer switch for a lamp. What happens to the brightness of the lamp and the potential difference across the lamp when the slider is moved from X to Y? So we can see that this is a resistor. So obviously when it will move from X to Y, the resistance will decrease, and when the resistance, we know the formula V is equals to IR. We can see that voltage is proportional to resistance. So when the resistance decreases, the voltage will also decrease, and obviously the potential difference decreases, so the brightness of the lamp will also decrease. So A is your answer. 35. This is not part of your syllabus anymore, so you can skip this question. 36. The diagram shows an electromagnet near a coil of wire connected to a voltmeter. The reading on the voltmeter is 0. The switch is closed. The electromagnet magnetizes quickly. What happens to the reading on the voltmeter? Okay, so when the switch is closed, the electromagnet is magnetized, and it causes a magnetic field like this. So this magnetic field for a moment will interact with this soft iron here, due to which there will be a momentary reading on the voltmeter, but it will quickly decrease as well, because the electromagnet has a constant magnetic field. So the voltage induced will be only for a moment, so it will quickly increase and then decrease. So C is your answer. If only there was a changing magnetic field, then the current induced and the voltage induced would have increased and then decreased and then increased again in an alternating current manner. But since we have when the switch is closed, we will have a constant magnetic field, due to which it will only increase momentarily and then decrease again. 37. Which graph shows the voltage output of an AC generator with the peaks and zeros correctly labeled? So since it is an AC generator, you know that the voltage will be on both sides, so it's either option C or D, but option C is incorrectly labeled and only option D is correctly labeled with the peaks and zeros, so D is correct. 3 students are describing the structure of an atom. Student 1 says that all the positively charged particles are in the nucleus. So he is referring to protons, and we know that protons are in the nucleus, so this is correct. Positive electrons, well, there is no such thing as positive electrons. Electrons are only negative, so this is incorrect. Negative electrons orbit around the nucleus, this is correct. So 1 and 3 are correct, so C. When alpha particles are incident on a thin metal foil, most of them pass through undeviated. What does this observation reveal about the nature of the atom? So let's suppose this is an atom and the nucleus is very small in the center. So when alpha particles collide with the atom, they go undeflected, and this is because most of the atom is empty space. So B is your answer. So coming on to the last question of this paper, a laboratory worker measures the count rate from a radioactive source. He records his results in a table. The average background radiation in the laboratory is 8 counts per second. So in this table they have not accounted for the background radiation, so we will have to add in the count rate, so 100 will become 108. So we need to check that at which moment the count rate halves. So 108, when does it become 54? It becomes 54 after 2 minutes. So that means the half-life of the source is 2 minutes. So that brings us to the end of our paper. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and like always, I will see you later.